A very influential mentor has recently taught me that in order for one to achieve, we have to be present in the journey. My name is Marizon Blichnet, and that is my new life motto. I have newly discovered my innovative talents of sketching in the arts. I am creating these charming wooden welcome signs full of sunflowers. This is one of my projects for 2021, to become a small business owner in selling these to help me not just be artistic, but also have proceeds towards my education reserves. Being creative, positive, happy, and helping children is my main interest at this stage of my life. Educational psychology, from my point of view, is the understanding and the development of students in the educational journey. It is there to ensure that we as teachers in training are aware of how students can struggle, but also help them to overcome these barriers. Educational psychologist is about involving students and solving the problems that we face in our classroom every day. The most important part of education psychology for me is about helping students to grow at the pace and to see their barriers not as boundaries, but as stepping stones to achieve the main academic goal. When I was younger, I visited an educational psychologist. At this time, I was struggling to focus in class. Now, being in grade 4 and already not being able to listen to my teacher, this has really created a barrier for me. I was already behind, and this not only had an impact on my educational journey, but also on the way that I interacted with other children. The education psychologist was so nice to me. She had a warm and caring way of working with children. I think this is a very important characteristic trait for them to have. We did a lot of activities in our sessions. She would read stories to me and ask questions afterwards. When I couldn't answer the question, she would read to me again. Whenever I dozed off during our sessions, she would let me do fine motor skills in order to get me to concentrate better. When people ask me why I like teaching so much, my answer is always simple. I love to see how students grow and how they progress during the time that I have them in my class. With this, I'm not just talking about how they're doing with their physical schoolwork, but also to see them grow emotionally and mentally. To see the joy in a child's face when they are being praised for doing good in a test. The glimpse of sunshine when they are finally understanding the work. Making children feel special, welcome, and educated is why I love education and teaching so much. Education is growing and an evolving system. What worked yesterday might not work tomorrow. Every child comes in every day with a new piece of themselves, and teaching them old ways won't open new doors for the education system. Standardized formal assessment and inclusion are the main aspects of education that needs to change. I know what you're going to say, but Marizon, those are two different things. And we only want to know about one of them. In my opinion, these two go hand in hand. The Tinkerbell series is one of my favorite animations, and this relates so much to education. So we have different fairies with different talents, just as relatable to our students who sit in front of us every day. The formal assessment does not always benefit all students. We have students who are better at creating something without taking a test. We have students who can draw incredibly, but taking the test might scare them. I say we should let each talent explore to their strengths to get the mark that they deserve. Let's say, for instance, we are writing an NSNT exam and you have to label, maybe it's saying you must get 10 marks for labeling a skeleton. So instead of asking students to go and study the skeleton, maybe some of them can draw the skeleton. Maybe some of them can actually build the skeleton and label it that way. In that way, we can include all of their talents and to make sure that all of them get the mark that they deserve. The education system is full of challenges and involving all students, whether they are disabled or have different physical, mental, and emotional barriers. I feel that they also need to be included into learning. Nelson Mandela said, "Education is the most important weapon to change the world." To come back to the fairies and their talents, these children who are being excluded from education should also have different techniques and strategies to make sure that they are also part of the learning process and be able to pass their formal assessments. The main reason for education is to make sure that we teach the next generation that everybody is included, to teach the next generation that it doesn't matter what disability you have, it doesn't matter if you are struggling, that you can be taught for a better future. So that is the main goal of education. So including different students and getting different formalized tests will ultimately reach that goal for us. What I would like to gain from this module, sorry, my cat was just running around. What I would like to gain from this module are the instruments to be able to support my students one day who hold barriers to learning, to be able to identify the growth that they are progressing towards their education, and the ability to know when my students are equipped for the next step. Educational psychology to me is more than just solving the educational puzzle. It is about making a more vigorous future for our students in our classrooms. Thank you so much.